adolescents we mentioned before, contributing a lot to the HIV burden. I'm sure you have heard by now that although our HIV prevalence rate would have fallen to 6.5, again it is the women and young girls whose HIV prevalence is higher than the general population. And specifically, we are talking about the girls aged 15 to 24, whose prevalence is escalating. And unfortunately, different from what we had before, even the boys, the young boys, their HIV prevalence is also climbing. Before, we saw less boys compared to girls. It was a 1 boy to 4. Now we are seeing a 2 to 3 ratio within that young population age group. So we are worried, and we should be worried as a people, so that we begin to continue to talk about HIV and STIs in our community as a component of RAMCA. Sadly enough, these young girls who have become pregnant are actually contributing a very high portion to the current maternal mortality which we have. When you think about the factors which we have looked at up to now, Uganda's indicators in relation to maternal health, in relation to fertility control, in relation to adolescent pregnancy, in relation to newborn mortality, as we've just seen there in Mityana, has remained almost static. So we need to begin to question ourselves, what are these underlying factors, which we as a people of Uganda must quickly wake up to and address. But what is safe motherhood and what does it end on? In order for us to keep mothers who are pregnant healthy, we need to be thinking about the major pillars on which it stands and the foundation. If we are going to keep mothers healthy, they must plan, they must have pregnancies which are by choice and which are wanted and at the correct age. Not being too many, not being too frequent, not being too late. If we don't run, definitely where we are 7 years to come, we are not going to meet the Sustainable Development Goals of losing 70 women per 100,000 by the year 2030. Remember, the data which we have official now is telling us we are still maybe around 300. If we've gone very low, we could be at 230. So in the next 2 years, in the next 7 years, how do we exponentially go down to 70? Because the number 70 was given globally for everybody. And they said, yes, okay, for some countries, because of your socio-economic environment, you may not reach there. But please try to do what? To run and reach there. So when you look at Uganda in the next, please, Uganda is somewhere also trying to reduce maternal mortality.
Today we are at Christian University. I'm Hayinza Justin. I'm also one of the students who attended the Masters of Public Health Leadership with our major focus on maternal and child health, maternal, newborn and child health. So today we are looking at the statistics, and it's disturbing because we've learned that first of all, 50% of the pregnancies are not planned, they are unplanned, which is so risky because that shows that we are going to have many unplanned children, and these mothers also having the children where they are not yet prepared. So as leaders, as people who have gotten some knowledge in this area of maternal and child health, we call upon community leaders, our family members, our husbands, the fathers, to plan their families, to allow the women access family planning. Some communities, the men don't allow women to access family planning. So I want to request the men, want to bring them on board and to enlighten them that, the fewer children a lady has, the better for their health. But if they have to have them more frequently, not spacing too often, too frequently, it's so risky. It weakens the reproductive health system of the lady and increases their chances of them dying in childbirth. So once that the problem of unplanned pregnancies is reduced, we want to reduce that 50% unintended by allowing women to access family planning, and of course, which is also available. Government has also availed in some places, but we want people to be enlightened about the benefits of having a small and planned family where they can get the basic services, quality basic services. Of course, it's unfortunate. In the past, we've been seeing the increase in teenage pregnancies, but it's disturbing to note that now, apart from the teenage pregnancy, which we've been trying so hard to address, we are seeing also a challenge of HIV, and especially among the boy child. In the past, it used to be the girls, but we can also see that the prevalence among the boys is going high. So it's unfortunate incidents which we need to come together as community leaders, different stakeholders. We need to come together and sensitize our young people, engage them. It was of course worsened by the corona during this COVID time, the lockdowns, but that's not an excuse. It's a problem that which is recognized, a problem we have at hand. So we need to engage different stakeholders. Now schools are open, the religious leaders, traditional leaders, and of course the political leaders. We need to have some sensitization to engage the young people. We counsel them. We advise them on the method of sustaining and having them in school. That's another strategy. Let's have them in school so that they delay engagement in sex, and so that we avoid the teenage pregnancies and of course such occurrences of HIV. But for those who are, we need to encourage them, of course, to have the teenage-friendly service at the health facilities. These ones will address both. If we have the teenage-friendly services, because if one wants to access family planning, we can allow them access depending on the situation. And secondly, if maybe they are already engaging in sex, we can counsel them. Someone can also be HIV positive. So we need to have the young people close, because that they're the majority, of course, in our population, 78% of the population being the young people. That's not a small number to ignore.
I'm Dr. Miriam Mutabazi, the Executive Director of Save the Mothers East Africa. Today we've gathered together with several of our partners in improving maternal health in Uganda, many of whom are partners are our previous students of the Masters of Public Health Leadership course at Uganda Christian University. And when they graduated, they went out and became change agents. So today we have gathered together to celebrate the change agents and hear their success stories. And we have learned today from our keynote speaker that the prevalence of HIV amongst young people has gone up as of the COVID season. We know that teenage pregnancy has also gone up, so it's not surprising that there's been sexual engagement and unprotected sex at that, and therefore HIV has increased. Well, the advice that we would give is that we need to educate our young people about protected sex. We need to educate them about having sex at all. We as a Christian university espouse the values of no sex before marriage, but when it happens, we do counsel the young people and help them get through this difficult stage. If there's a pregnancy, then we support the young pregnant people. If there's HIV, we also give the necessary support, psychosocial support, and as much as possible, socioeconomic support.
Behaving responsibly is going to be important for all of us, because without finance increasing, it is difficult to improve the rest of us. And we need to make sure that our systems are prepared to build the capacities of women and girls to want to be healthy. The government has introduced several guidelines to look at what, and this is important because we know that more emergencies are probably, because many times they also come with the different diseases. A root infection.
And we also need to have a group photograph before some of our people disappear. Beautiful way of having our panelists. You sent us a synopsis of what you're going to present into a Q&A. So that is just to prepare you. So the 6 people that we have as presenters are still committed to ensure that by where are we taking the photo from? So we can come to the front and then the photographer will tell us how to. Please come to the front.
For common purpose and goal, to care for one another and
program. Keynote speaker, who may be familiar to some of you, Makerere University, almost said Uganda Christian, working groups at the Ministry of Health, including maternal and child health, and the postpartum hemorrhage, NASNEC, gender-based violence, and male involvement technical working violence. She spearheaded the development of guidelines and training materials on male involvement in family health. Dr. Oli has worked with and trained young people in reproductive health of HIV and gender-based violence. Dr. Oli Senchumel-Gisa is in the Save the Mothers program for Masters of Public Health Leadership postgraduate course. Is also a board member to come and educate us, inform us on issues that are pertinent to.
I was listening to her, we've not moved, and the challenge is, what are you doing? The co-moderator is here, Reverend Moses Semugoma. So I don't know where I want to have that picture from, and when we return, we are going to segment, we are going to do it differently. So my assumption is, you come on stage, and myself and Reverend Semugoma, where are we taking the photo from? Please come to the front.
And targeted counseling is a community model, a behavior change model, and use the existing community health service continuity and doing which is digital. And the VHTs had to use their smartphones to register and report. The children under 5 are able to access services because the VHTs continuous.
Again, preventive.
Thank you so much. No point is taken.
These are poster presenters. Reverend Sister Judith Kadu, Child Uganda. Reverend Joan, our moderator, we appreciate you.
Wali osomera ku somero ki? Mabirizi ki? Primary school? Secondary wali ogenzera mu secondary? Secondary wasembayo kusomera ku somero ki? Mabirizi kiri mu Gombolola Kyerasi?
Bazadde ba Nekesa bagenda ku mbaga ne bamulekera muto we yalwala era Nekesa yalina
ate bagamba